Nick, I know I didn't get your name last time.
Couldn't remember Joseph.
Now, and I was trying to. Right, so everyone just one moment. It's a Monday. How are you? All right, Juan Pablo Aveles, thank you. Aisha Calderon.
Custody.
Daniel Martinez. Daniel Martinez. Joe Guerra III. Joe Guerra III. Chelsea Monk. Chelsea Monk. Carlos Vargas. Carlos Vargas. Jimmy Aguirre. Thank you. Stephen Rhodes. Stephen Rhodes. All right, is there anyone present whose name was called? I mean, who came in late or whose name was not called? All right, so attorneys, these are the rules. Please follow these rules and things will go smoothly. All right, before you approach the court, if there's some case that you have on the docket, please approach the clerk. The clerk will give me the file and they will place the file in the order in which you appear. After that's done, if you'll take a seat, because I want to keep the well of the court as clear as possible. With regards to the attorneys, if you will just tell them the name of your case and hand them your file, then just hand them your file and take the seat. Again, we're trying to keep it as least congested as possible. And trust me, when they're ready for you, they will call your name. That way there's not a long line at their desk and people don't feel, claustrophobic. All right, does everyone understand the rules? All right, happy Monday, please confer.
Judge, this thing was e-filed, it's not on today's docket, it's e-filed, the approach on this.
You have to approach the clerk first.
Okay, what's the name?
It's Richardson, Robert Richardson.
Richardson?
Yes.
It's not on TV, it's on your face.
Thank you.
Good job. It was a hard case to win, I thought.
10 years.
Excellent attorney work.
Yes.
These are motions that he filed. He just wants permission to move out of the Hazen for Hope. These files are on the docket today. No, I just e-filed them. Can you just ask the judge to sign them later on today?
Oh, yeah, you wanna go in the back and let the clerk know to print out the motions? And we can put it on the.
I don't really need to talk to him. The guy just wants to move. He found a place to live out of Haven for Hope, and they're saying he needs permission to do that.
Yeah.
So this whole thing's crazy.
Yeah, but you wanna go there in the back and just clerk know.
Right. I'll be back here real soon, but try to get the idea real quick. We got a lot of cases going on. So.
Yeah. Good morning.
Travis Molden.
Oh, shit.
Yes, that's right. Congratulations. That was a good point.
It was nice.
How you doing?
So tired. The movie trucks are gonna be at my house in a couple hours.
Oh, you moving?
Different houses.
Oh, good. Just a lot of work.
It's so much work. I just. So I'm out of breath. I mean, I'm unpacking. I'm like.
For shopping. I printed the tip for you.
Okay. All right, thanks. I'll get you.
Yeah, when you get to.
All right, thanks. All right, who's here on Robert Richardson? Robert Richardson.
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Yes.
I have proof from local emergency room that my client was treated on Thursday night and diagnosed with COVID. I'd like to give that to the court.
All right.
And I'm conferring with probation right now, but I would like to ask the case be reset for at least a couple weeks. Give him a chance to get uncontagious again. I have more hospital records, but hopefully that has enough.
All right. There's a diagnosis on June 23rd. When do you want to bring this back? No, not June. Did you say July 20th?
That'd be fine. Robert Richardson. In that case, maybe excuse, Your Honor.
Yes.
I'll continue conferring with probation. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Anthony, you NTR? We're just gonna alternate my conditions.
Human, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Here. Look, babe, this is done. Just put it in order, Lupe. Yeah, just put it in order and I'll get to it. Who's here on Travis Molden?
I am, Your Honor. May I approach?
Yes. Oh, behind the line.
Behind the.
Yes.
a COVID
Where's
thing?
Mr. Molden?
Mr. Mulder's in federal custody in Karn City.
Okay.
I was gonna try to ascertain how long they're gonna keep him since he turned himself in on a parole violation. So that we could determine whether there's a warrant needed to be issued, maybe in 30 days to be here. But I don't think that's how you're gonna handle it.
All right, have you conferred with the state?
I'm trying, there's no file.
Oh, state, do you know, criminal trial division, do you have the, files on Travis Molden?
Yes, Judge, I told them they're coming down.
Okay, all right, so just, come back after you conferred, and then we'll see what date we're gonna do.
All right.
Thank you. They're not ready. All right, who's here on Anthony Newman? Yes, what is happening with this case?
It's gonna be, we're gonna have them continued on supervision, Your Honor.
What is this being withdrawn?
Yes, and then just altering amending conditions.
All right, have your client come forward. And what are they saying they want to alter amending conditions to?
He's
Oh, no,
gonna.
no, no, Jump. There's a
Oh.
line there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Stay back
do
there.
not cross the line.
Sorry, Judge.
That's okay.
I like
You
your
know,
perfume.
we're all trying, oh, thank you. We're all trying to stay healthy. All right, so, Mr. Newman?
Yes, ma'am.
My understanding is that they're saying that they want to, I guess, withdraw and alternate main conditions.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Indeed negative.
All right, when's the last time you used?
Since it was before, like last day that we had spoke on court.
Okay,
Because I had a dirty UA.
Yeah, his issue, Your Honor, is he was using before he pled, and then his first UA while on supervision was dirty.
I don't understand why this case is just being heard because the allegations in the motion are from like February 2021 and October 2020.
Yeah, yes, Your Honor, I can't really explain that. I'm not sure either.
Probation, do you know why that is?
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
On Anthony Newman,
Yes, ma'am.
the allegations in the motion are from 2020 and 2021 of February. I'm wondering why this is just being heard. Does anyone know? Because I saw where the motion was signed by me on March 2021.
Let me go into the.
Your Honor, and then just confirm with my client, he hired us in April of this year. So as to before that, I can't really speak to.
Okay,
Yeah, see, there, it's on it.
all right, we will find out what's going on because I want to know what's going on. Okay,
Do you want to have him tested, Your Honor?
now, you want to be tested today?
Just like to be tested right now. Yes, ma'am.
All right, are you able to go or do you need water?
If you have some water, I'd be.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
all right, you can have him go to the water fountain. Probation,
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Newman is going to do a drug test today.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And then we'll try to figure out what's going on. And Ms. Ferguson, can you look into that? As to why on Newman, this was signed in 2021 and we're just now having a hearing on it in 2022?
Judge, I'm having flashbacks. I don't know if you remember that one time where my client couldn't go to the bathroom supposedly, and I kept on buying her sodas and sodas and sodas.
Yes, I remember.
I'll never forget that. I think I bought her like 4 sodas. The bookkeeper was like, "Why are you expensing sodas for the firm?" I'm like, "It's a long story."
Your Honor,
Yes.
on Newman,
Mhm.
it appears that his last visit with probation was back in April of 2021. He
Ah.
failed to appear in June of 2021, and a supplemental was intended for.
Okay, all
So,
right. All right, thank you. I was just wondering.
yes, Your Honor.
All right, on this one, I need a copy of the motion to revoke. All right, here you go. They're not done. They're not ready. Just put it in the file for not ready. All right, on Gaspar Rodriguez, does anybody know where's this other residence he's gonna be seeing?
The attorney on that case just stepped out. The city they agreed on.
Have nobody call the attorney back.
Okay. Daniel, today?
Yes.
Just give us a moment. All right, Daniel Trevino. All right, everyone. So attorneys, if you're gonna be stepping out to the hallway, then don't ask for your file to be pulled. Here we go. And if you have an inmate, please ask the deputy to bring them out. All right, Jacob Trevino. I'm sorry, Jacob Daniel Garcia. Come forward. Yes, what is happening with this case?
This case was just re-indicted last week, Your Honor, so we're not even outside of our 10-day period at this point.
And Judge, we were informed defense counsel was in trial on the 226. It's a 2-week trial. They're still there. And so we did re-indict to language that we believe is more appropriate for proceeding to trial.
Hi, do you have the other file?
Thursday.
I don't know if that file.
It's Jacob Garcia.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Right, just this moment, we're gonna see where the file is in that. All right, so in this case, has it, the re-indicted case, has an acknowledgement of discovery been done?
No, not this one. We can do that today.
All right, that needs to be done today.
Judge, there is one other thing. In reviewing the case, some swabs were previously submitted to the lab, but there were underwear in the case that were not. So I went ahead and submitted those to the lab with a rush for testing as well.
And when is that going to be done?
I would hope within the next month or so.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Jacob Garcia, give me a jury trial date in August, please. Does anybody know what the new cause number is?
Yes, I actually provided the new.
2022 CR 6154.
All right, thank you. All right, your jury trial date and plea deadline date, you need to come in on August 22nd. And that'll be at 9 a.m. And your actual jury trial date will be on August 23rd, but you need to be here on August 22nd. These two files need to remain together.
I'll get it.
All right. And Norma, can you make sure that's under that new cause number?
What was the cost?
It's 2022 CR 6154. All right, Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset date.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Daniel Trevino. We need to pull his case again. Moulton. All right, what is happening with Daniel Trevino?
Judge, we want to see if we could recall it to Thursday.
Just 1 second, pull the file on Moulton.
Okay.
All right, why are we getting a reset?
His misdemeanor DWI case is not filed yet. Marcus is going to file it tomorrow, and then the plan is to plea on your case and the County Court 6 DWI on Thursday together.
All right, why can't this be played out now?
Well, I guess if we do this one and then do the DWI later, and if I take a JSAT, they won't be very happy with me because there's no DWI conditions. I don't, Marcus doesn't trust me, Judge.
Judge, it's definitely not Kelly, but I've had situations where the defendant changes his mind and doesn't follow through on the plea on the misdemeanor. And so,
Well, I mean, if he doesn't follow through, then I guess they'll go to jury trial on the misdemeanor.
yeah, Judge, but we sort of have I guess our office tries to wrap up everything together, not leave cases hanging out there. Could we plead a day and do sentencing another day?
Yeah, we can plead today and do sentencing on Thursday.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
That sounds like fun.
Travis Mulder.
I understand that he's going to be in front of a federal judge or magistrate on July 13 or 14. They expect him to be released. He's got 2 or 3 years of supervision. I've got an offer. I'm not ready to fill a discovery because I need to look at his federal file that only he has access to, which is some of the same issues that we're going to be looking at here.
Okay, so when do you think that the federal case will be completed?
I'd say that he'd be free to come here in 30 days.
All right, what is his date on the federal case, though?
What is his?
What is his date on the federal case? for
I got it
sentencing?
secondhand hearsay from family members, and it's July 13th. It's probably a Saturday. I haven't checked it.
No, July 13th is a Wednesday. So, Ms. Ferguson, can you give me a 30-day reset on Molden?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Just 1 second. All right, August 5th.
August 5th it is, Your Honor.
Yes. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And state the case involving that DWI in another court. Which court is that?
County Court 6,
County Court 6, who's County Court 6?
Wayne Christian.
Right. And he's not ready to do that today?
The case isn't filed, Judge.
Okay, all
Still
right.
red file.
We'll come back. We'll do the plea and then I'll reset this for Thursday.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
I had one more matter to approach on, Judge, whenever you're ready.
All right. We go in order, so
Oh, I'm sorry.
that's okay. Who's here on Daniel Salinas? Daniel Salinas.
He's not present, Judge. He's in custody at the jail.
All right,
He pled about 2 weeks ago. An MIC evaluation was ordered. He's still in custody awaiting that evaluation.
Mhm.
I believe the court allowed him to do that evaluation when he was not in custody. So that's what we're asking the court to do.
all right, I need the file.
It's right there, Judge.
This is the file.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
No, I didn't say that it was out of custody.
Okay.
So how long has he been, because I see the plea was done on June 9th.
He's still in custody.
All right. Probation, do you know when the MIC evaluation will be completed on Daniel Salinas? Where he is in line? Ah, I'm talking to myself. It's Monday.
I can come back on the judge.
Oh, just a second. She'll be right back. Yes, she's doing a
Beach test.
UA. So just a second. Yes. All right, thank you. All right, just make sure these files remain together. Thank you. Okay. Which page? Okay. He's on page 16. All right. Are you able to bring him out or no? All right, if you could bring him out. Probation. Can you check on Daniel Salinas and see where he is on status for MIC evaluation? He's at the jail. Mr. Rodriguez? All right, your attorney is in a jury trial, so he won't be here today because as you know, you can't be in two places at the same time. So we're gonna bring you back tomorrow, okay? All right, thank you.
Where are I going?
They're gonna take you back.
Yeah, your truck's on it.
Yes, is your file here? All right, just give me a moment. Everyone, once you put your file up there, if you take a seat, I promise you, I will call you in the order in which you'll appear. Deputy Laura.
I brought somebody's clock, so.
Okay. Oh, no, I have the ice.
Your Honor, my client unfortunately tested positive for methamphetamine.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I don't have luck in your court with tests.
Well, you want to bring him up?
If you test me, I'll be clean, but
Do you need any water?
no, yeah.
All right.
The agreement stands with the state though.
All right, if you can have him brought up. All right, and what is your client's name?
Anthony Newman, Your Honor.
All right, Norman, can you pull Anthony Newman's file for me, please? All right, Mr. Newman. So let's start over. When's the last time you used drugs? Here's the thing, you're at the point where you just need to tell the truth. You've already tested positive. So when's the last time you used drugs?
3 days ago.
All right, so why are you using drugs?
I have ADD and it's, I don't have insurance on.
Nobody's using meth as a placebo or as something to help with ADD. So again, we're back to why are you using drugs?
There really is no reason, ma'am.
Because let me just explain something to you. If you're not honest with the fact that you use drugs, which you were dishonest with the court,
Yes, ma'am.
and then you're still being dishonest as to why you're using drugs, guess what's going to end up happening? You're going to continue to use drugs.
Yes, ma'am.
So here's the thing, you're on deferred adjudication for burglary of a building. That's a state jail felony. The most I could do is send you to the state jail facility for 2 years. So we're at a point in your life, you're at a crossroads. How old are you?
I'm 38 years old, ma'am.
All right, so if you want to go to the state jail facility, I'm sure the state and your attorney can work out an agreement where you can go to the state jail facility and you'll be done. Of course, when you get back out, you'll probably use again. Or either I can give you help if you want help, but I can't give you help if you're being dishonest. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So what would you like to do? Would you like to just go ahead and go do your time and be done? Or you want to try to get your life together?
I do want your help. I would like to. I would love to have help for that. For sure.
So are your children still living with you? Because I have you down for parenting classes.
No, ma'am, they're not staying with me right now. They're staying with my mother-in-law.
Which means that Child Protective Services, if somebody is involved, am I right in assuming that?
No, ma'am, actually, it was my mother-in-law back in 2019. I went to jail for getting everything cleared up, whatnot. And then as I was in jail, she said that I abandoned my kids and.
Which you did.
And pretty much, and then that's how she has access. What's that? Yeah.
Grandparents' rights case, right?
Okay.
Correct. Yes,
And
ma'am.
where is the mother of the children?
She's actually currently still with the mother. She's at the house right now.
All
Our
right.
house.
So basically what ended up happening is, I don't know why people think when they go to jail, that doesn't mean they've abandoned their child, because the last time I checked, when you go to jail in Bexar County, you can't take your children with you.
Correct.
So how old are your children?
The oldest one's 18. The youngest is 13.
All right, so the 13-year-old can't survive while you're in jail. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So probation, Mr. Newman has tested positive for drugs after saying that he would be negative. What are you all asking for?
The recommendation for this amendment on the court summary says deny MTR continue on probation with amended conditions to obtain the drug patch within 10 days, weekly reporting for 90 days, ISP evaluation, and then schedule a compliance hearing in 3 months.
I spoke with the state, Your Honor, on Mr. Newman as to the patch. So he had issues with the patch before because he works in pool construction and remodeling. So he was having some issues with the sweat and keeping the patch on, is my understanding. So then state agreed to just have him, I offered having him do a hair follicle every 90 days. But they requested that he do weekly UAs. Our agreement was 90 days, weekly check-ins with probation, and every week he'll be tested during those 90 days. In lieu of the patch.
All right, State, are you aware of Mr. Newman's positive UA?
From a few minutes ago, yes.
Yes, okay. So, well, you all still want to withdraw the motion?
Judge, if I could look at the motion again, but I believe.
All right, the motion is illegal use of a controlled substance and the drug patch. And if both the state and probation want to withdraw, I'll still withdraw it and sign the withdrawal, but I'm going to add different conditions.
Sorry, our agreement wasn't to withdraw. It was to alter and amend, but we still wanted to go forward in front of the court.
Oh.
But we were gonna ask you to deny, Judge.
Oh,
All
my
right.
apologies, I was mistaken.
All right, so we're going to go on the record then.
Oh, okay, my apologies, Your Honor, I just misunderstood.
Could I hold the motion? Thanks. Brittany, you ready?
Yes.
Court is calling 2020 CR 11858, State of Texas versus Anthony William Newman. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Marcus Sanders.
for the defense?
Justin Fox.
And are you Mr. Newman?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Anthony William Newman who was placed on deferred adjudication for the offense of burglary of a building with intent to commit theft on September 29, 2020 for a period of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am, that is me. It was the 27th, I do believe.
No, you were placed on probation on September 29, 2020 for a period of
Okay,
3
yes, ma'am.
years.
Yes, ma'am, you're correct. Yes,
Is
ma'am.
that you?
That's correct.
Is that you?
Yes, ma'am, it is. Your
Steve?
Honor.
Condition number 23, on or about the third day of February 2021 in Bear County, Texas, the defendant, Anthony William Newman, did then and there fail to comply with the drug patch requirements, and that drug patch was removed without authorization in violation of condition number 23.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True. Judge, we'll wait that.
Any objections to the waiver?
No objection, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 23, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 23?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 23 true. Is there an agreement?
There is, Your Honor.
Yes, Judge, we're asking that you deny the motion, continue him, alter and amend to order weekly UAs for 90 days, weekly reporting for 90 days, an ISP evaluation, and to schedule a compliance hearing within 3 months.
All right, is that the agreement?
It is the agreement, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Newman, it appears that you have been missing. I was wondering why the allegations in the motion were from 2020, 2021, because usually in this court, when a motion to revoke is signed, which it was signed by me on March 3rd, 2021, it's usually set for a hearing soon thereafter. Where have you been? Because it appears that you have not been reporting to probation.
I was actually the probation. I was supposed to be getting the links or text messages to let me know when to report through Zoom, and I stopped receiving them to get the Zoom report.
So you just thought you were not going to have to report.
And I didn't know if what happened on that situation or who to contact or if what was going on.
So you don't have your probation officer's number?
No, ma'am, I did not.
Your Honor, there in the court summary, there are some emails from Mr. Newman periodically trying to email probation. So I think he made some attempts to reach out.
All right, then this is what the court is going to do. Court will deny the motion. And auction and amend to include the UA hotline until further notice. There's going to be weekly reporting until further notice. I guess we'll do a TAP evaluation and follow recommendations of TAP. But what I can tell you, probation, if TAP is recommending inpatient treatment, we'll just start with intensive outpatient treatment. All right, is there anything else?
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Newman, again, you're gonna have to make up your mind on what you want to do. You understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, good luck to you remaining in the courtroom. Probation will go over conditions with you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Sure. All right, and probation on Daniel Salinas, do you know when?
I'm still checking on it.
Okay,
Judge.
all
They'll
right.
give me an answer.
All right, thank you.
Judge, I'll be right back.
Thank you. Is Jimmy or Jerry on the docket today? Yeah, I just got these motions to dismiss. Yes. All right, who's the party on Jimmy or Gary? All right, if you can approach. I know Mr. Gary doesn't have to come forward.
Do you need me to?
I just wanted to get him to dismiss. You're welcome.
Maybe the excuse.
Yes. All right, who's here on Chani Tejeda?
Sheriff Judge, do you want Mr. Tejeda? to come
Yes. Mr. Tejeda, why were you late?
I apologize, but like, Your Honor, I was downstairs in line with the rest of people trying to get it up here.
All right, so you're gonna need to start building in your time to court, lines and traffic, you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Don't be late again,
I
okay?
apologize for that.
All right, what is happening with this case?
Well, Judge, looks like it needs to be tried. All three cases are out of the same transaction.
All right,
We've agreed to a consolidation.
who's going to be trying this case?
Marcus, I think.
Yes, Judge.
All right, are you the person who's trying this case?
Tater, yes, Judge.
All right, so I need an acknowledgement of discovery, and Ms. Ferguson, this needs to be set for jury trial, quick, fast, in a hurry. It's 11 settings. All right, it's going to jury trial August 16th. Regardless of what happens, it is going to jury trial August 16th. Does everyone understand?
Yes, sir.
And before anyone leaves the courtroom, I want an acknowledgement of discovery on all the cases.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're welcome. And Mr. Tejeda, I'm sorry, could you come back for a moment, please?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Shaw,
Yes, Judge.
was a plea offer tendered?
There was a plea offer tendered.
All right, and Mr. Tejeda, are you rejecting that offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so the court will not accept any plea bargain agreements past this day. If you do decide to enter into a plea, it'll have to be open to the court. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, and Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Here. Who's here? And Anna Ramirez? All right, so what is happening with this case?
It's gonna be a jury trial. And I do have.
All right,
two-
where's Anna Ramirez?
I do also have 2 agreed orders.
Just a minute. All right, what orders?
For witness list.
All right, has an offer been tendered?
Yes.
And Ms. Ramirez, are you rejecting that offer?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, your plea deadline date has expired. And I show that your plea deadline date was given to you for this date on May 16th. Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date for Anna Ramirez. How long do you all expect this trial to go?
I don't, my recollection, Judge, it's not going to be a fairly lengthy trial.
All right. August 23rd. All right, so you all will come back on August 22nd. All right, Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form. And I'll make the acknowledgement of discovery before anyone leaves today.
Yes, Judge. I'll do that right now.
Here you go. And can I see the file on Tejeda again, please?
Your Honor, may I, on Mr. Salinas, he hasn't had his first appointment with probation yet. So I'm gonna reach out to the officer to see if we can get him in sooner than later. And at that point, he needs to sign a release and then he can get on the calendar for that. To make him out.
Okay, all right.
So as soon, I'll get with him and get him on as soon as possible.
All right.
Judge, I just have one more question on Anna Ramirez. I did file a motion to challenge the outcry. Do you do that with trial?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure I didn't need a setting part.
Sure. Alex, on your case, it's actually going to come back on August 15th. The jury trial date is August 16th, which is Tuesday.
Oh. Okay. 15 and 16.
So August 15th is a Monday, and that's just to make sure that everything is done.
Thank you.
No. This case is sort of complicated, so they may have some motions or something. So that's why Monday. All right, who's here on Israel Elizondo? Hi, come forward with your client.
Hello, good morning,
So,
Judge.
good morning. So has an offer been tendered in this case?
An offer was tendered this morning, Judge. I am still explaining it to my client. The details of that offer, I don't think we're inclined to take it, but if you could give us a week or so to make that decision and just put us on the trial docket for now. You know, I mean, it's hard to make that decision in a day, but we're fine with being put on the trial docket. And then, you know, if you just want to give him a little bit of time to email the court whether or not he's gonna take that, that way he can have a little bit of time to think about it, that'd be great. We also executed the discovery acknowledgement today, Judge. I did get those CPS records about 10 days ago, and I'm almost through going through them.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. On Israel Elizondo, can I have a 3-week reset for plea deadline dates, please?
That actually works. Of 21st of July? That's perfect.
All right, just get a reset form from Ms. Ferguson.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Michael Garces.
Judge, it's Michelle Garces.
Oh, Michelle Garces, okay.
Unfortunately, it's just me today. She's not here.
Oh, where is she?
She's telling me she's at a doctor's appointment with her daughter, but it was a funeral appointment, honestly, tends to happen when she has kids.
Well,
I've asked her to bring me documentation and to come in person. So that's what I've asked her to do.
All right, I'll give her till 1:30.
Okay.
All right.
What time I expected you?
This is coming back at 1:30. All right, is someone here on Tyler Ashfall?
Yes, Judge, I am.
Yes.
Judge, this is a pre-indictment matter. I have a couple witnesses that I'd like to call for it.
Right,
They're
have
not
you had-
available today. I've talked to the state and I'm asking if we can be brought back Thursday for this.
All right, Ms. Ferguson on Tyler Ashfall, are they able to come back on Thursday? All right, we'll see you all back on Thursday.
I think they can come in person. No, they're here. They just, one of them had a doctor's appointment.
What time?
11? Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
I did. Did you? I brought it. Did you?
State criminal trial. Do y'all have any objections?
What are they asking for, Judge?
Short probation.
Well, they're not. I went the easy route.
You went what?
The easy route.
Oh, you did bond.
I forgot, and that was the best I could do.
I wasn't.
They're still very good.
Yeah, I know, man. I didn't. My daughter did. She deserved it.
Correct. I didn't want to.
Definitely did. Like this chef in Houston was doing these like recipe things for
Yeah.
kids, and so my daughter did a whole bunch of them, and one of them was like homemade brownies. So right whenever I started telling her, I did let that home, she's like, "I'll do that."
Good morning. Hey, can you send that note back to me? I don't like the way it's worded. Oh. Yes. All right, thank you. Bye-bye. Just checking. Did you take your action off? Yeah. Okay. Oh. Okay, and so. Okay, and then you still have that headache medicine? Mhm. Okay. Okay, and how's your head? Okay. Oh, thank you. Mhm. 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 Okay. All right. Here's it. Okay, Lupe, I know you've been missing for a little bit. You've been off, but these motions I need to file. That's okay. And then that's been put up here, but where's the defense attorney?
No, the DA just gave.
No, it's the defense attorney, Lupe.
Oh,
I know you've been going for a
sorry.
while. Yeah.
I'll just wait for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you go up.
Maple tea.
You know, there are different perspectives. Well, it's for probation, we can make
Yes, ma'am. She went for all that, right? She's already assessed for all this.
She currently. Don't know what else. Why don't you offer a gift to her?
Her name's spelled funny. What's this?
I believe it's spelled L-Y-N.
Let me, give me about 5 minutes.
Appreciate it.
Hi, I just wanted to let you know my client didn't show up.
All right, who's your client?
Maple Hughes. And I've been confirmed with the state and there's a warrant for him.
All right, if you ask the clerk to pull the file, the court will take that up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, who's here on Juan Aviles? Yes. All right, and where is Juan Aviles? Come forward, please. All right, so what is happening with Aviles?
Judge, I think we're complete with discovery. We have an offer that's been rejected. I think we just need to go ahead and move towards trial.
Ms. Ferguson, if I can have a jury trial date on Juan Aviles, please. And is this a case that was re-indicted or?
It was, Judge.
Okay. It's gonna be August 23rd. Mr. Aviles, your plea deadline date has expired, so the court will not accept any plea bargain agreements in this case. The court will only accept pleas open to the court. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, they'll give you a reset form and then your excuse.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
I got this from the back. It's the original, but I didn't hold on to it, 'cause I don't want to sit on it. But Karen had it.
If not, I mean, I think it's the other side.
Where now, are you ready? All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 1424, State of Texas versus Eric Della Riva. Is Eric Della Riva here? Is your attorney here? All right, Lupe, please do not give me files when the attorneys are not here. No problem. Okay.
Yeah.
Henry Peterson. Who's the attorney for Henry Peterson? All right, what is happening with this case?
Your Honor, today was a deadline for Mr. Peterson to notify the court whether or not he wanted to accept the offer that had been tendered by the state. My understanding after speaking with Mr. Peterson this morning is that he's declined to accept the offer that's been tendered by the state.
All right, Mr. Peterson, then this will be going to jury trial. The court will not accept any plea bargain agreements in this case unless it's open to the court. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date for Henry Peterson, please. All right, your jury trial date is August 2nd. You'll need to be here at 9 a.m. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we will see you then. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And do you see which page Mr. Peterson is on? All right, thank you. Who's here for Christopher Saxon?
That's me, Your Honor.
All right, and where's Mr. Saxon?
Chris, come on up.
All right, so where are we on this case?
Judge, we made an offer on he has two cases. Mr. Slimane is only hired on the sex assault case. And Mr. Hitchings is on the assault and consent case. We've made offer on the family's second case.
Mhm.
That wraps up all of the cases. And so I just don't know kind of what we can do at this point with Mr. Hickey's situation.
All right, so you represent him on the sixth case.
I was retained on the sixth case.
All right, are you willing to be appointed on the assault case, since the assault case will, my understanding, wrap up the sex case as well?
I can be appointed, Judge. I know that in the past, court admin has had issues if an attorney is being appointed on somebody who's already retained on another case. I don't know how that will be interpreted, but I'm willing to.
All right, so if you can confer with, have you conferred with them on the assault second?
No, Judge.
There's
None.
been no gum showing in court.
I'm sorry.
All right, I would love to be chewing gum now as well, but I'm not.
I swallowed it. It was a bit.
All right, okay. You know, in school, they would always tell us if you swallow gum, it's going to ruin your intestines and stomach. I don't know if that's true or not, but there was a lot of gum that was swallowed. So if you'll confer with them, and then we will come back and see where we are.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's not done. Then just put it back. It should be recalled. No, that's, I'm talking about another case. Just, I mean, if they sign their reset form.
You got your reset, right? You got your reset already? Sure. That's it.
All right, y'all have a great week.
Thank you.
Today first. And
Yes.
I had it in the fridge. I think I'll take the same password.
So she used you directly to. I know you're.
No, it was more than just.
All right, who's here on Burton Schooler? And where's your client?
He's right there.
All right, come on up. All right, so what is happening with Mr. Schooler?
This judge, spoken with the state, we've received an offer, we rejected that.
All right, so I saw that that offer was rejected on May 16th. So was this some sort of new offer?
Judge, they would like to review the case for either a better offer or a possible dismissal.
All right. Your plea deadline date has expired. Ms. Ferguson, on Burton Schooler, could I have a jury trial date, please?
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, the jury trial date is August 16th. And before you leave, I need an acknowledgement of discovery. State, could you get an acknowledgement of discovery on Mr. Burton Schooler, please? All right, you can have a seat. Lindsay Phillips.
I don't know physically that she's able to come forward.
Okay.
I have concerns because she tells me that she's not getting her meds, and based on her physical condition, that she may not be understanding everything as they go on today. She has in the past, when she was on her meds, been able to understand. What I would like to do is I would like to ask the court for 2-3 weeks. I would like to contact the jail, see what's going on with her meds. And I don't think it's an issue of if she's getting her meds, that she's not competent to make a decision. But it seems to me like she's not getting the meds, and I would not trust the decision she made today.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. On Lindsay Phillips, can you call her back for next week? She'll come back? Yes.
I'm on vacation next week.
Can you call her back the following week after next week? Let me see what date that is.
I'm back on the 13th, 14th, 15th. Sorry, Judge, if I'm on vacation now, it's never.
No,
gonna
I
happen.
understand.
And I see that I'm haunting everyone. I see Marco Contreras appeal right next to the court reporter over there.
Oh, yeah. Working on that right now.
All right, we're going to come back on July 14th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
There's no right solution for some things. The least long. So I'll check on. Okay, good to see you. So what I need to do is I need to. I mean, she did seem completely inconsistent to me. I just wanted to. I wouldn't trust it. She didn't tell me she would be there. But, you know, as much as I love her, I just want that serious scene. Well, she might be aiming for the middle. There might be someone sitting between the two of you.
All right, Brenda, you ready? Court is calling 2022 CR 0423, State of Texas versus Joseph Balboa. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Michael Villarreal for the state.
for the defense?
Megan Enriquez present for John Keynes for Joseph Balboa.
All right, come on up. Are you Joseph Balboa?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're here for sentencing. On April 14th, you entered a plea of no contest, count 1. According to the plea bargaining agreement, a punishment is to be assessed at 6 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. State will remain silent on your application for deferred adjudication. State recommends community supervision, and they will take in consideration 2022 CR 0065. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
Yes, Your Honor, we have.
Any, any objections from the states?
No.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Judge.
All right, well, the state is silent on his application for deferred adjudication. Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Judge, if we could swear him in, I'd like to ask him a few questions.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm gonna need you to speak up. You can lower your hand. Defense?
Mr. Balboa, how old are you?
31.
Where do you live?
138.
I'm sorry.
That's we cannot hear you. And everyone, if you could please whisper for us.
31 years old. Stay right here for 138.
You live here in San Antonio?
Yes, ma'am. Here in San Antonio.
Okay, and your brother, your roommate?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Just y'all two?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you work
Yes, ma'am.
full-time?
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you work?
I'm a McLean Food Service Company.
Okay, tell the judge
I'm
what you.
gonna- I'm
Okay,
gonna order
hold on,
selector.
hold on.
Slow down and then speak up and clear so I can hear you.
Slow down a little bit.
I got McLean Food Service.
Yeah, I'm a McLean Food Service Company. It's I'm an order selector. Oh,
Hold it closer to you.
okay, I'm an order selector. That's all I do there.
Tell the judge what you do. How many hours a week do you work?
Well, I work every week. I get about like 43 hours and try to get overtime as much as I can.
And how much are you,
But I'm like
how much are you earning?
18.50 an hour.
Okay, and are you close to getting a promotion?
Well, no,
A raise.
Well, I have to perform 4 things that they need, which is above at least 95%. And it won't be up to $22 an hour. I have to do that for 4 weeks straight.
And before these arrests, you had never been arrested for a felony?
No, man, this is, first offense of anything.
Okay, and if the judge were to grant you deferred adjudication, you're motivated to successfully complete it,
Yes,
correct?
ma'am.
And you keep busy by working a lot.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you also pay child support?
Yes, I do. For one child.
Okay, and beyond the mandatory payment, do you also give the mother of your child money for other expenses?
Yes, ma'am, for daycare, and if she needs more money for diapers or something.
Nothing further, Mr. Balboa.
I have no question.
All right, if you drug tested today, what are the results going to be? And know that you're going to be tested.
I might be negative now, so.
Well, okay. So what might you have used? What potentially could you be positive for?
Probably the.
All right. So how often are you using cocaine?
It's just, it was just a whole type thing.
No.
No,
you should-
it honestly wasn't. It was. No, it really was. I haven't done it in so long. I just recently just felt like down to antidepressant. It was just one time,
When was this one time?
about like 3-4 days ago.
All right. So what else have you used in the past?
Nothing. Oh, in the past, it was just marijuana.
And what else?
And the LSD that you have me on there for, but I haven't used anything other than that. And that I swear to.
Okay. And what are the ages of your children?
The ages are 2, 7, and 16 months.
All right. And where are they living?
2 of them are in Puerto Rico, the oldest, and then one's down here with their mothers.
Has Child Protective Services been
Oh,
involved?
no, man. No, man.
Does anybody know the result of his MIC evaluation?
Did you have?
Not yet. They told me I have to go after court for the mental evaluation, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's after this date.
All right. Is there all right, any other follow-up questions?
No, Your Honor. Just brief argument.
All right, court will hear argument.
Your Honor, this is his first felony arrest. He's 31 years old. He's working full-time, often overtime. None of the children live with him, but he does help provide for them by sending financial resources. So I do think that he stays busy with work. He is living with his brother as a roommate. And I do think he is motivated to keep a felony conviction off of his record. And so for that reason, we ask the court to respectfully grant him deferred adjudication.
All right. It says that the restitution amount for drug testing is $1,965. Is there any issue with that? I mean, that's a large amount.
I do know that there were multiple substances that were
Yes.
found. So if he had the term of his deferred, I think he would be able to pay it over the term of his deferred.
All right. Court will sentence you to 6 years deferred adjudication.
Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
And
There's a
that's
fifth.
I'm sorry, that's the 19 plus the 15, right? For the, okay, I'm sorry.
No, I've just been told that according to the PSI report that the restitution is $1,900.
Okay, okay, I'm sorry.
I don't see anything else. Is there something else that I'm missing?
No, I thought it was a $1,500.
Oh, he's talking about the fine, Your Honor.
All right. So 6 years deferred adjudication, $1,500 fine prorated. Take in consideration 2022 CR 0065. Proof of employment within 30 days. There should be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. 150 hours community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination that includes the booster. However, the court is not requiring you to do that, but if you do that, or if you've done that and you provide proof to probation, the court will deduct 40 of those hours. There's going to be parenting classes with compadre y compadre. And those must be completed, and once they're completed, the court will waive the remaining of your community service hours. MIC evaluation. Cognitive behavior classes. Someone help me out. What are they trying to do with that? Change his thought processes?
Yes.
Mr. Balboa?
Yes, ma'am.
Change your thought processes. What that means is stop letting your first go-to be to do
Sure,
drugs.
sure,
You understand?
Yes, ma'am. I'm working on that on myself too. It's
All right.
complicated. It's hard doing it on my own.
All right, I'm gonna do cognitive behavior classes. How many classes is that?
Let me check.
Let me see, before I order that, let me see how long that is. Because I don't know if the issue is really cognitive behavior, it's more of he's addicted to drugs. And maybe once that problem is solved or he's in control of that, then everything else will follow through.
So,
I'm sorry, what?
oh, so me sober, I'm perfectly fine when I'm sober. It's just when I'm on that, that's when
Yes.
everything is chemically imbalanced.
Your Honor, it's 10 weeks long, approximately 20 hours.
All right, so we're not gonna do cognitive behavior classes. We'll see where you are once you are on the road to sobriety.
Yes, ma'am.
And then if he does need cognitive behavior classes, after we've addressed that issue, then we'll do that. There's to be no harmful or injurious contact with Jeremiah, that's your brother,
Yes,
correct?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Jeremiah Espinoza, just, I know they stay together, but does
No, yeah,
Jeremiah want to
no.
have contact with him?
Oh, yeah, my brother's fine.
We've previously spoken to him in our conversations with him. He was apprehensive and essentially declined prosecution. So I don't have a specific, I might be able to have a specific answer for you, but.
Are you staying with your brother right
Yes,
now?
ma'am. Right now, yes, ma'am.
Okay, just 1 moment.
If we have spoken to him specifically about that issue, that the recommendation was based on our conversations and his kind of watching.
All right. You're gonna do regular reporting by Zoom or in person, no harmful or injurious contact with Jeremiah Espinoza, felony drug court. You're gonna do the UA hotline. And here's the thing, when you go over to felony drug court, don't do to them what you did to me, which was, I think I'm gonna be clean. Don't do that to them. You need to tell them the truth. I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know anybody your age who's just using cocaine once, especially when you know what happened in regards to this case where you're hallucinating or paranoid from using drugs and you could have ended up killing your brother. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm gonna want the UA hotline until he is accepted in felony drug court. Gonna do a TAP evaluation. So if he's not accepted in felony drug court, then it'll be a TAP evaluation, follow all recommendations. And I'm gonna want a UA today so we can see where he is. And that's gonna be today, and they're gonna do that for you in court today. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. Probation, is there anything else that he needs?
Say anything about field visits?
Thank you. We're gonna do field visits 2 times per month, random. And that's until further notice. All right, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful? Mr. Balboa, do you need anything else in order to be successful?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Balboa, you're gonna be drug tested. We can go off the record. You're gonna be drug tested today.
Okay.
Before I get the drug test back, you're saying the only thing there may be is
It's
cocaine. Is
yes,
that
ma'am.
correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Nothing else?
No, ma'am.
All right, and is your
I'm
brother,
not here to lie to you. I'm trying to get what I can get, to get my life back on track.
okay, And you have a Ghostbusters tattoo?
Yes, man.
Why?
That's my Rocky's favorite movie when he was young.
Oh,
When he was
okay.
younger, yes, man.
All right. All right, well, probation is gonna go over conditions with you. They're gonna do a UA.
Okay.
Who's here on Della Riva? All right, if you all can come forward. Eric Della Riva. Court is calling 2021 CR 1424, State of Texas versus Eric Della Riva. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Michelle Hayden for the state.
Defense?
Austin Hagee for defense.
And are you Della Riva?
Yes, yes, sir.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor, I have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Della Riva, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it?
Yes.
And did you sign it?
Yes,
Next, I'm showing you the true bill of indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
yes,
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, we have one oral amendment that we've agreed to with the state on count 2. We're
All right.
taking.
We're gonna get to that. So do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We're proceeding on count 2, waiving counts 1 and 3. And there's some language at the end of count 2 that says end violence. And we've agreed to waive that portion of the indictment. We would make the oral amendment to strike through that language. And it's actually, I believe, in the stipulations marked through.
All right, so in count 2, you all are, well, first, defense, do you have any objections to the waiver of count 1 and count 3?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and then with regards to count 2, the language that is being removed are the words "and violence," is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, at the very end.
All right, any objections?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Della Riva, do you understand that to be a substantive change to the indictment? I'm sorry?
yes,
All right, do you have any objection to proceeding with that substantive change? I'm sorry?
No.
All right, and defense, are you waiving your 10 days?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Della Riva, I'm going to show you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate
Yes.
places? Did you understand you're charged with sexual assault? That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
yes,
If you have a plea bargaining agreement with the state, the court, excuse me. The court does not have to follow your plea bargaining agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargaining agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
yes,
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right, for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
yes,
Did you understand by entering this plea bargaining agreement, you were giving up those rights?
yes,
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargaining agreement in this case?
yes,
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
yes,
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor, yes.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Della Riva, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
no,
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
no,
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
yes,
Are you a U.S. citizen?
yes,
All right, off the record for a moment. Excuse me. I think the cause number 2022 CR 0065. That's Balboa.
okay,
All right, we're back on the record. Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. showing you the plea bargaining page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea bargaining agreement, the state is proceeding on count 2. There's a $1,000 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication, chapter 62 compliance, MRT, UAs, and no contact with the complainant. Did you understand that to be the plea bargaining agreement?
Yes.
Defense, is that the plea bargaining agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargaining agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
And did you sign it in both places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you were waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you what's outside the agreement. The state is recommending that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 7 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 80 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes.
Then to count 2, as amended, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no
No
contest?
contest.
State any evidence.
State offer states exhibit 1, its attachments and evidence.
Any objections?
No objections.
Mr. Del Riva, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent for stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call them the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding you guilty as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Mr. Della Riva currently is employed. He has no substance abuse problems. He does take all this very seriously. During his brief time in custody, he got to experience how serious the justice system is, and I think he will be performing very well in deferred adjudication. He has no other criminal history whatsoever, and he does take all the charges against him seriously in this situation.
All right, if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
I'll pass it.
All right, have you ever used any controlled substances?
Yes.
What?
Some marijuana,
When's the last time you used marijuana?
like 2016.
All right, what do you do for a living?
I worked for DoorDash, but I recently got let off for DoorDash.
I'm sorry?
I work for DoorDash. I used to work for DoorDash, but he let me off of DoorDash because of what was going on.
All right, so again, what do you do for a living? Because you're
Right
not,
now, I'm going to work with my uncle. He works with like cuts grass and stuff like that. Self-employment, basically.
okay. All right, they want you to do the MRT course. Is this to tell people don't sexually abuse people? Do we need
Yes.
to be told that?
Yes, Your Honor, it's the moral recognition therapy course.
Somebody don't want to have sex with you and they tell you no, you don't have sex with them. Because then guess what? It's not consensual, it's rape. But here we call it sexual assault. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Are you still meeting people on gaming?
No, I don't have a system anymore.
All right, then you know you can't have a system anymore. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. And here's a hint for everybody. Don't go across country to meet somebody because you met them while playing PlayStation or whatever gaming system is out there, because you really don't know that person. You only know their avatar and not who they are. Right?
Yes.
Do you have any children?
No.
All right, court will sentence you to 7 years deferred adjudication. There's $1,000 fine, probated. Chapter 62 compliance. He used to be on the sex offender caseload. No contact with the complainant. And probation, that's listed in the indictment. There's 80 hours of community service restitution. Probation, I understand that there's no place for registered sex offenders to do community service hours. So the court will waive the 80 hours of community service restitution. If you provide proof of the COVID vaccination, the court is not requiring you to get it, but if you do, then those hours will be waived. I'm going to want a TAP evaluation plus follow recommendations. There's going to be regular reporting by Zoom, well, not by Zoom, in person. Field visits 2 times per month, random. And I'm sure that the sex offender caseload probably does it periodically. Proof of employment. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider, no employment as with minors, and there's to be no employment where he is going inside people's homes. So yard work, that's fine, but you cannot do any employment going into people's homes unless you provide proof that that person has been informed or your company has been informed, and you provide that proof to probation. You understand?
Yes.
Is there anything else that he needs probation?
Your Honor, you said proof of employment within how many days?
Within 30 days.
And your analysis?
Yes, we'll do random UAs. All right, is there anything else he needs?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Delarriva, is there? Yes.
He does currently reside in Houston, Texas, so he will be getting transferred to Houston, Texas.
Okay. Transfer, what county is that?
Harris.
Okay, we'll do a transfer to Harris County. However, you're not transferred to Harris County until probation in their county lets you know your probation has been transferred. Do you understand?
Okay.
All right. Mr. Delarriva, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful? All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
All right, because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, good luck to you. We're off the record. So what is up with this lipstick tattoo on your neck?
Huh? Oh, it was when I was like 16. I got it.
All right, is that anyone's
No,
lips in
no,
particular?
it's just something
Just
I
general?
wanted to get.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good luck to you.
All right. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Just remain in court. They'll go over conditions with you. Who's here on Kilpatrick Taylor? Taylor Kilpatrick. His attorney's not here.
Oh, just. Mr. Meyer is not available.
Okay. Mr. Taylor? We're gonna bring you back on July 12th. Your attorney is not here. And did you hire your own attorney?
You got our attorney.
Yes, because I see the notes in here that Judge Angelini stated that he was not going to appoint you new counsel. You would have to hire an attorney. So did you do that?
I didn't hire an attorney. At the same time, I was wondering, like, since I can't hire one, that they're appointed for my constitutional rights.
I'm sorry, what?
Maybe if I can hire one, which I've been, we talked to the family, see if they could, maybe appoint me another attorney.
Now, they're not gonna appoint you another attorney.
Because I'll be honest with you, of course, when I see I don't know what's going on, because I ain't been, informed properly, notified properly, definitely about the discovery, untruthful about the discovery, and definitely the alleged victim statements that switched over 2 times from my appointed counsel. So it's like an antagonistic.
All right, so
relationship between me and my.
All right, so here's the thing. Sometimes, and I'm not saying this is your situation. I've been a defense attorney and I've been a prosecutor. I'm not saying this is your situation. I know that sometimes people feel as though they're not getting a day-to-day update. And sometimes they want to file your own motions, right? So let me explain to you. The attorney is responsible for filing motions. And let me explain to the other thing. The state is required to give discovery to your counsel. You understand? All right, so we're gonna come back on July 12th.
The honor, excuse me, I want to actually have been asking about what kind of discovery have they had from the SS system. I definitely discovered from the, when I was in the DPS, the videos. Like, first he said that, quote unquote, this was.
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't want you to talk about your case to me
about my
without your
case.
attorney being present.
Oh, okay.
So this is what we're gonna do. Ms. Fergus, can you make a note for Judge Angelini that, who is it? Mr. Meyer is to sit in court with Mr. Taylor and go over all the discovery with him.
And by the way, also, Your Honor, another thing too, I've been asking also to file different motion, like I had to file my own, like I've been telling them, like since of like Wednesday of March 23rd to file some motion that's in my hand. Once and command them if you haven't filed them, and I told them.
All right, let me see.
Wednesday, March 23rd of 2022.
All right, so here's the thing, Mr. Taylor.
He didn't respond and file.
Mr. Taylor.
So I had.
Mr. Taylor, when you have an attorney, that attorney will file motions. So if there's something that needs to be heard, then your attorney will let the court know. Now, sometimes people will file motions and they're filing motions that their attorney is, maybe their attorney doesn't think those are the proper motions to be filed. But we're gonna bring you back on July 12th. And on July 12th, your attorney will go over everything with you. All right?
And by the way, what about these motions in my hand? These are the ones I've been commanding to file for like at least 2 months.
No, you'll have to take that up with your attorney, okay?
And no one has filed any.
Okay.
Okay, you talk to your attorney. All right.
All right. Well, you'll have to talk to your attorney, okay?
You said July the 12th is.
July 12th, yes.
I just pray that I'm getting the right, legal representation, because I feel defenseless right now. I feel the way the justice is kind of unequal and unfair.
Okay.
I'm not receiving a fair trial, and I'm definitely gonna be honest with you.
Okay, all right, thank you. So they're gonna take you back now, okay? All right, Norma, that's James Bryant, correct?
Yes.
So when is July 12th the earliest he's gonna be ready?
Yes.
Okay.
We're back on July 11th.
Okay. All right, thank you. Who's here on Crystal Avalos?
It's me, right?
Renee, you ready or you need a break?
Yeah, I'll just save that for a second.
All right, Crystal Avalos. Court is calling 2019 CR 5823, State of Texas versus Crystal Avalos. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Brittany Sparks.
For the defense?
Andrew Fraley.
And are you Crystal Avalos?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Crystal Lorena Avalos who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2019 CR 5823 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1 less than 1 gram on October 10th, 2019 for a period of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Yes, Judge, violated condition number 7 on or about the 19th day of May 2021 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Crystal Lorena Avalos, departed Bexar County without the written permission of the court and or supervision officer in violation of condition number 7.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Violated condition number 17 on or about the 4th day of May 2021 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Kristen Lorena Avalos, did then and there fail to report weekly in violation of condition number 17.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
And we're going to waive all of the violations.
No objections.
Ms. Avalos, did you understand by pleading true to violations 7 and 17, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine? Did you understand? I'm sorry. Yes, and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violations 7 and 17?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find 7 and 17 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Yes.
We're asking that you deny the MTR, continue her on probation, and alter and amend to add a TAP evaluation and weekly reporting and 0 tolerance. And I think it's for a 1-year extension. Judge.
That's correct. Ron.
All right. Are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You want to explain to the court why you haven't been reporting?
I had left Bexar County because I didn't have anywhere to stay. And I had spoke with my probation officer and I asked her if I had to be homeless here and she said yes. And then she said she was going to the attorney.
So why didn't you tell anyone you had no place to stay?
I didn't know that I wasn't able to go back to my sisters when they told me.
I'm sorry, did I misunderstand? You said you did tell your probation officer you had no place to stay?
Yes, I told her I didn't have nowhere to stay.
And what was the response?
I said if she wanted me to be homeless and or sleep on the street, and she said yes. And then there was nothing else.
So why didn't you go for Haven for Hope? All right, and then that still doesn't explain that I haven't seen you, or probation hasn't seen you since May of 2021. So where have you been?
I was living up there and then I came back to San Antonio.
Why? You didn't have a place to stay?
I have a place now and I have a job now.
My question is, you left San Antonio because you did not have a place to stay.
Right.
So why did you come back to San Antonio? Because I'm assuming you still would not have a place to stay.
No, ma'am, I do have a place to stay, which is why I came back to San Antonio.
How did you get a place to stay?
I stay with my boyfriend now.
Is this a new boyfriend?
Yes, ma'am.
So you met a new boyfriend while you were not in San Antonio?
No, I've known him. He's been my friend for a while.
So when did he become your boyfriend?
About a year ago.
Do you have children?
Yes, ma'am.
What are their ages?
She's gonna be 17, 10 and 11.
And where are they?
They're with my sister. She has custody.
So Child Protective Services involved?
Yes, ma'am.
Which means, have your parental rights been terminated or are you still working on getting your children back?
I'm still working on getting them back.
And so your idea of getting your children back was to move in with this new boyfriend. Is that correct?
That's not my idea of getting my children back. No.
All right, do you understand that when Child Protective Services cases are open, the number one thing they always tell you is don't get involved with anyone else in a relationship because your children don't really know them. And so what your plan is, I'm assuming, defense, is that she's hoping to get custody of her daughters back and then bring her daughters into a home with her boyfriend. Is that correct?
Judge, I think that in the short term, what we had discussed was she has a place to stay. She has a way to get to and from probation. She has a job that she's working at, and she's going to be sober. So that in itself is going to be on the right track. She cannot get her kids back until she's got her life settled, which, again, being the first step would be to resolve these cases, get her probation on track, go forward with the TAP evaluation, zero tolerance. She has to do that first. At some point in the future, that's a different story, Judge. But right now, I think it's a short term versus a long term. So short term, what we talked about was getting these cases, continue probation, get her life back on track. Her sister has custody, so I'm not sure about the visitation schedule, but it's not like they're in some stranger's custody. It's her sister. So for right now, it's a short-term solution.
Well, I can tell you what I'm not going to allow, because I don't know what Child Protective Services is doing, but I do know what has happened, what usually happens when you have a boyfriend and you have teenage daughters or young daughters, and you're just bringing these daughters into the household. Because let me just tell you what you have to think about. I don't know anybody who wants to take on the care of someone else's children. I mean, sometimes there's the miracle person out there who's a great guy. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
But usually no one wants to do that, right?
Right.
Because it's extra, children are beautiful. I love children. I think they're great, but it's still baggage. And the fact that you're on probation, that's baggage. And that's baggage and suitcases that you're asking somebody else to carry. And at the airport, they don't have those push carts anymore. You have to carry that baggage yourself. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'm going to deny the motion. Gonna alternate man conditions. And I have previously said that she had to have parenting classes, roars. She's supposed to be doing all of that. And she was supposed to be having proof of employment, alcohol testing. So that's all in her previous conditions. So we're going to still keep her previous conditions. And we're going to do the UA hotline. And there should be no unsupervised contact with minors. There should be CPS compliance. And with regards to the no unsupervised contact with minors, her boyfriend cannot be the chaperone. What's your boyfriend's name?
Lino.
Sorry, what?
Lino.
Lino what?
Gutierrez.
All right. How do you spell that first name?
Lino.
Okay, Lino Gutierrez. So her boyfriend, Mr. Lino Gutierrez, is not allowed to be the chaperone. And I hope he knows with Child Protective Services, if you're planning on getting your children back, that means that he has to do the services as well. If he doesn't, you're not going to get your children back, potentially. All right, and then we can do a TAP evaluation and follow those recommendations. Extend for 1 year. And there's to be weekly reporting. Is there anything else from either side? State?
No, Judge.
Defense?
Nothing further.
Probation, is there anything else she needs?
Your Honor, if we're extending her for 1 year from her expiration date, she expired in October, so that would only give her, October of this year.
All right, we're going to extend 2 years. And let me make sure. Yes, so we're going to extend 2 years. Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, the party's on Daniel Trevino. And probation on this one, it's gonna be sentencing on Thursday. All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 0698, State of Texas versus Daniel Trevino. Can our parties announce for the record for the state,
Marcus Sanders.
for the defense?
Kelly Piddle.
And are you Daniel Trevino?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, I'm showing you the acknowledgement of discovery. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Trevino, I'm showing you what's entitled application for community supervision or deferred adjudication. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented? It appears count 2, the lesser included offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 grams to 4 grams. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
No objection.
Mr. Trevino, I'm showing you what's entitled court's admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the state is proceeding on the less included offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams. That's a 3rd-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that the court will grant your application for deferred adjudication? If for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes.
You believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Mr. Trevino, has anyone threatened you, forced you, or placed you in fear to get you into this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, there's a $1,500 fine to be probated. State recommends deferred adjudication. This is to run concurrent with County Court Cause number 657729. Restitution of $120 to SAP for lab testing. The case is to be reset for sentencing. Defendant and state agree that provided defendant pleads to County Court Cause number 657729 prior to sentencing, state will take into consideration night mag number 665363. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 4 years. There be a TAP evaluation and 200 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the lesser included offense and count 2 possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram, 1 to 4 grams. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
Yes, state offer 6 exhibit 1 and its attachments.
No objection.
Mr. Trevino, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibit 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding the guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Probation, in regards to this case, there will not be a need for a PSI done. And then we'll come back on Thursday, the 30th, and I'll meet everyone here at 9 a.m. on the dot.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I'm assuming because I read in the police report that there was an accident and then he didn't remain. Is that the Night Mag case?
No, the Night Mag is a new less than agreed.
All right, so was there another case filed? Because in the police report, I read that he told the officer that he hit a vehicle and he left the scene of the accident.
He was never charged for that offense. I don't know if there's a seal case. I've not been made aware of one. So.
All right, if you all can look into that, because otherwise that case will be remaining. And if that is an issue where that case is out there and you wish to withdraw your plea, then of course, the court will consider that.
Sure.
So if you want to check with him to see if there is such a case.
Sure. And for Thursday, I'm going to have him in County Court 6 first to resolve that and then bring him up here. So we won't be here at 9, just that's it.
All right, as quickly as possible. All right, thank you.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
You're welcome. No.
Judge, can I approach with probation on that MIC evaluation issue?
Yes. She was looking into that, so you can see if she has a date for that.
Right, I spoke with her. In her notes in their system, they're showing that it's supposed to be accomplished while he's out on probation, not in jail, which is contrary to what you have. So we just need to figure out which one we want.
Right, so in the notes that I have, it says the MIC evaluation outside of custody. But we wanted to verify what your notes have because he hasn't been scheduled for it because it was supposed to be out of my notes outside of custody.
Excuse me, what's the name of the
Daniel
defendant?
Salinas, Judge.
Salinas. We think it's been out for a couple of weeks, so.
No problem, Judge.
Oh, here it is. All right. All right, so let your client know he can do it out of custody, but if he misses that appointment, we're gonna be back here, a motion to revoke be filed if he misses his appointment.
Sure. Judge, can you grant my order so we can send that to the jail? So that way there's no issue. Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Just one moment. All right, who is here on Robert Guevara? No, I haven't. Where's Robert Ferrera?
Yes.
All right. So we'll bring him out and I'll take up that matter.
And the next one's in Jalesville.
Okay. Yeah, and Myra Matthews. And who are you here for?
I'm here on Gloria Mendoza. I believe it's the bottom piece of paper there.
Okay, we're doing it in order.
And we have an agreed motion to set bond.
Okay, all right, well, I'll get to it. All right, who's here on Carlos Vargas?
Your Honor, I'm present.
Yes, and where is Mr. Vargas?
He's dead, right here.
All right, come forward.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hello. All right, they say that the device hasn't been calibrated. What's going on?
Your Honor, if I may, I have a document. Mr. Vargas actually did take care of that on Friday. There was a non-payment. May I
Okay.
approach?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. There was a non-payment, Your Honor. And the vehicle was being serviced from what Mr. Vargas has indicated. He will be able to submit verification of that if necessary. He
All
will
right.
apologize, and I've told him that he needs to communicate with me and with pretrial when this stuff arises.
All right, so, Mr. Vargas?
Yes, ma'am.
You need to make sure that pretrial services is aware of this. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put on here that you have 1 day to calibrate, because I'm being told that you've already calibrated.
Yes.
So you need to make sure that they are aware of that. Otherwise, I'm gonna get another pretrial service violation report. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And what are we doing with,
There was a competency evaluation, Judge, unrelated to this on the cause number. That did happen on Friday with Dr. Jimis, so we're hoping to have a follow-up on that by sometime this week on competency.
okay,
He does have some mental health issues, Judge, and we have to, in an abundance of constant caution, counsel filed a motion to happen.
all right. So, Ms. Ferguson, on Mr. Carlos Vargas, they say that the report has been completed. They're just, I guess it needs to be put in writing. So when is he coming back for this motion to revoke?
Whenever the report's ready, but it takes 30 to 45 days.
Yeah, we did it on Zoom on Friday, Your Honor. So if the court wants us to come back in 30 days, we're happy with that, Judge.
Okay, 30 days. And you need to continue to report to probation though.
Yes, Your Honor. Judge, I asked him to dress for court appropriately.
And I appreciate
knocked
that.
out. So I tried.
Okay. Okay. Okay, what day? I'm sorry, when?
July 28th.
All right, so we're gonna be back on July 28th at 9. If for any reason it's not done, then let me know.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
yes, thank you so much for dressing appropriately for court.
Thank you.
All right,
Yeah,
Thank
Judge,
you.
I tell them they're Sunday best, and sometimes there's two different versions of the
just some of
Sunday's
this,
best.
yeah. Thank you, I appreciate it. And Ms. Ferguson to give you a reset date.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Raymond
Judge.
Alejandro, thank you. Raymond Alejandro. Hello. So in this case, did the state make the offer?
They did make an offer, Judge. Would ask for some time to go over all the terms and also the collateral consequences. So
All right. And could I get an acknowledgement of discovery today? Is that possible?
Well, we got the CPS records, Your Honor. I know we have child safe interviews that I need to look at, although I believe my co-counsel in the office has had a chance to do that. If the court would like, maybe perhaps I can have the state email me the form and I could bring it over to the court.
I can just do it e-filing.
Okay. All right, so Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset, please? All right, so August 4th, that's your plea deadline date. The court will not accept any plea bargain agreements after that. And on that date, I'll need the acknowledgement of discovery.
Understood. Yes, ma'am.
All
Thank
right,
you.
thank you.
May we be excused?
Yes, after you sign the reset form.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, who's here on Christopher Ritchie?
Good night.
Good morning.
He has, am I supposed to stand on this side?
Yes.
Okay. He has 2 cases and he's been asked to have the GPS monitor. And I spoke to the prosecutors and they do not have any opposition for the removal of the GPS. He's been on GPS since October. They have not indicted the cases and
okay,
he has no problem with it. And I am in contact with him.
All right. So where is Richard? Is he getting in shape to run with the Bulls?
He's getting in shape for the Camino in September. And so I'm with him because I'm leaving on Saturday.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my foot hurts. Like I have plantar fasciitis. Like, all right. When do you leave?
The 6th. All right, if you'll take that to the back to the clerks, they will take care of it.
Thank you guys.
All right,
Good to
thanks.
see you.
You have a good one. All right. Gloria Mendoza.
Dr. Smith preferred and came to a report with an agreed recommendation of bond setting on her MPI.
All right, thank you very much. I have signed it and just give me 1 second. When is this actually set?
I don't know. I think she's only been in jail for a few days.
Ms. Ferguson, can you look at 2019 CR 13941 and see when do we have a date set on that?
Last date actually.
Okay, all right, we'll be back on July 21st. I don't know why I don't have a docketing sheet in here. Oh, here we go, hidden under a lot of papers. All right, so it's been done. If you want to, I can give you this, and if you'll give it to the clerk in the back that'll be placed in the system.
Love to. A magnolia tree is still poorly.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, we solved the problem with the aphids with a root infusion insecticide, root injection actually.
Yeah.
But the drought is just not kind to it.
No, and you know what? Aphids love that type of tree and those type of leaves.
Yeah.
I always have a problem with aphids with my gardenias.
Yeah, we've had problems. My gardenias are looking kind of spindly.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Haven't had
madam.
much blooms.
I'll take this.
Uh-huh. Okay, we can not bring him out. Norma, when are you resetting Myra Matthews for? Give him 3, give me a month's reset. Okay, that's the date when he'll come back. And deputies, could you let them know to let him know he'll be back on July 26th? And then let's just put Robert Guevara on the same date. All right, Mr. Robert Guevara, can you come forward?
They don't have to file. Yeah. Daniel.
All right, so everybody, these are the rules. Attorneys, we're trying to keep the well clear. So if you'll just hand your file to the clerk, I will call you up as soon as I get to it. Mr. Guevara, your attorney had a medical emergency unrelated to him. So he is not going to be here. So we're going to bring you back on July 26th, okay? Do you have any questions about anything?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you for your patience. Join in order of appearance, Mr.
I just
Bartholomew.
want to tell you, my client didn't show.
All right, well, we're going to take care of that. Just give me a moment. All right, who's here for Daniel Martinez?
I am, Your Honor.
All right, could I have a prosecutor, please? Court is calling 2022 CR 5114B, State of Texas versus Daniel Martinez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Marcus Sanders.
for the defense?
Edward Bartholomew on behalf of Mr. Martinez, Your Honor.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is 11:54 a.m. Defense, your client is not present.
That's correct, Your Honor. Called the number that I had for him. He doesn't have a voice messaging system. I called my office. She gave me notice. What I'd like to do, the state hadn't had to file, and I don't know if they brought it down yet either. That was another issue for us. So I'd like to know if I could have till Wednesday to get a hold of this. I have to check my notes and my phone notes in my office to see if I have. I did talk to him.
All right, state.
Judge Weston, that is done be forfeited in the warning issue.
All right, that'll be granted. If your client makes an appearance, the court will reconsider, but he'll be remanded without bond.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Find the file.
Pedro Martinez. Good morning. So where's Mr. Martinez?
He's in federal custody still. He's factually, no, I'm talking about the fact piece, but he has a possession of child pornography case pending there. We have the continuous sex abuse. There's some overlap about images, but not about necessarily conduct. We don't
Okay.
have him charged with any of the pornography here.
All right. So is there any update on the federal?
Judge, he's set for trial over there August 8th. My understanding is that there's been a plea offer and written plea agreement submitted. It hasn't been signed. I think his federal attorney hasn't reviewed it yet. I think that's what they're waiting.
All right, Ms. Ferguson or Pedro Martinez, can we set this in late August to see where we are?
Yes, sir.
All right, it's going to be August 30th, but between then and there, Mr. Hernandez, I'm expecting you all to confer to make sure you have all your discovery.
I will. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Can I have your seat?
Yes. All right, Norma, where's Judy Wimmer? Oh, hi, I can't see you. Okay, hi.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. And then Michael Velichek, what's happening with your case? All right, thank you. And what's the update on Christopher Saxon? Yes.
So the state did tender an offer on this other case that I guess I'm appointed of as of this morning. Discussed it with Mr. Saxon, and he's decided to decline the state's offer at this time.
All right. Can I see the file on Mr. Saxon, please? Christopher Saxon, come up. All right, so my understanding, then what's going to be going to trial is the sexual assault case, is that correct?
No, we intend on moving forward on the assault case and then putting the sex assault on.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a jury trial date for Mr. Saxon? And 30 days, that'll give you a time to go through any of the assault second issues.
Thank you.
Yes.
If we have August 2nd, I'll be here anyways on Mr. Peterson.
All right. All right.
Statutorily, it is, but I'd like more than 2.5 weeks. Anything between July 19th and August at the end of the month. I'd like at least the full 30 days. Sure. I think so. 26. I'm going to be out of county that morning. That's fine. Monday, the 25th. That's fine.
All right. July 25th, that's your plea deadline date and your jury trial date. After that date, the court will not accept any plea bargaining agreements. And the jury trial will be waiting for you. All right, Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right, everyone, the court is taking its break at 12:15, so if you have something, you need to get it to the court now. And so, who is the person in the box with the face tattoos and the neck tattoos? What's your name, sir? What? All right.
Donna, Balboa, we did a urinalysis. It was positive for cocaine, as he said he would.
All right, thank you.
Is he free to
Thank
go?
you for your honesty. Yes, he's free to go.
Thanks.
All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 3873B and 2022 CR 3498B, State of Texas versus Philip Washington. Can I have parties approach and announce for the record for the state,
Brian Gerber for the state of Texas.
for the defense? And are you Mr. Washington? Defense, in each of the cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled acknowledgement of discovery. Did you review all the discovery in this case with your client, and have you received all the discovery?
Yes, I have.
Then each of the cause numbers, the court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Washington, in each of the cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented in cause number 2022 CR 3873B?
Judge, is that the one with 2 counts?
No, that's the one with the repeat enhancement allegation.
On that one, Judge, we're just waiving the repeater enhancement.
Any objection?
No objection.
And then in cause number 2022 CR 3498B, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
On that one, Judge, I believe there's 2 counts, correct?
Yes.
We're proceeding on count 1, waiving count 2, and also waiving the repeater enhancement.
Any objection?
No objection.
Mr. Washington, in each of the cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled court's admonishments and defendant's waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them, and did you sign them in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
In each of the cause numbers, the state is proceeding on the aggravated robbery count. That's a first-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargaining agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargaining agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargaining agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargaining agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you need to speak up.
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargaining agreement in each of these cause numbers?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Washington, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter into these pleas?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargaining agreement?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
In each of the cause numbers, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. And each of the cause numbers, I'm showing you the plea bargaining agreement. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargaining agreement, the state is only proceeding on count 1 in each of the cause numbers. Punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 22 years in the prison. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon, a $500 fine. There are no applications. Each case will run concurrent with each other. The state will take in consideration 2022 CR 99B, JN number 2049196, 2076193, 2022 CR 3501. And you are in agreement that you committed these offenses with co-defendants. There's to be no contact with Cassandra Acosta, Jorge Colmenares. Brendan, for the record, that's COLMENARES, Kenneth Henry, and Cynthia Maris, MARES. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement in each of these cause numbers?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense is at the plea bargain agreement.
It is, Your Honor.
State is at the plea bargain agreement.
It is, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
There is not.
And if I could have parties approach in 2022 CR 3873B, you all have outside the agreement, the no contact order. But in the other one, it's inside the agreement. So I'm assuming that's the agreement. Is that correct?
It's just the no contact with the victims of the case. I think I put it
Yes.
on one and Brittany might have moved it down.
That's fine either way, Judge.
All right, thank you. So, Mr. Washington, in cause number 2022 CR 3873B, you understand that outside the plea bargain agreement is the no contact order with Cassandra Acosta, Jorge Colmenares, Kenneth Henry, and Cynthia Maris. Do you understand that in cause number 2022 CR 3498B, that is a part of your plea bargain agreement, that you have no contact with those persons? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand that if the court accepts your plea bargain agreement, the court is going to order in both cause numbers that there be no contact with Cassandra Acosta, Jorge Colmenares, Kenneth Henry, and Cynthia Maris? Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Then in cause number 2022 CR 3498B, to count one, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
And in cause number 2022 CR 3873B, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty, Your Honor.
All right, you pled no contest in 3498B, and you're pleading guilty in 3873B?
I think he said guilty on both.
Okay, thank you. Sorry. Brenda, is my hearing leaving me?
Lunchtime, Judge.
You're like, you don't know how to respond to that. How do I respond to
I
that?
wrote guilty. So
All right, thank you. She's not even, see, she's a good co-reporter. She doesn't even protect me on the record. She's like, I couldn't hear it either. All right, state any evidence to support the defendants, please.
Yes, Judge. State would offer state's exhibit number 1 and all attachments.
No objections.
All right, Mr. Washington, each of these cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand today that the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony?
Yes, ma'am.
Then in each of the cause numbers, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, cause number 2022 CR 3498B. Court finds there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty and the court will find you guilty. When are we expecting you to do sentencing?
I don't know if we have a date, Judge. I think we're just gonna get a
Okay, because I didn't know
PSI.
if he was testifying or anything of that nature. I'm assuming not.
No, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, this needs to be set for our PSI. August 15th. All right, so we're going to come back on August 15th. And I am still reviewing the other case. Just give me a moment. All right, and cause number 2022 CR 3873B, court is finding there's sufficient evidence and the court is finding you guilty. All right, so we'll come back on that date, Mr. Washington, August 15th, and at that time, the court will sentence you.
Yes, ma'am.
And the sentencing will be based upon the report I received from PSI and any other evidence that is presented. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank
You're welcome. Who is on Jeffrey Kesey?
I am, Your Honor.
Thank you. You can approach. All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 3040, State of Texas versus Jeffrey Kesey. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Michelle Hayden for the state.
for the defense?
Your Honor, T. Christopher Lewis.
All right, and are you Mr. Kesey?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
All
sure.
right, and thank you for dressing for court. More and more people are dressing appropriately for court. I really appreciate that.
That's how I was raised.
All right. All right, defense, I'm going to show you what's entitled discovery acknowledgement. Did you review that document with your attorney? I'm sorry, with your client?
I did, Your Honor.
Yes, it is, as you can tell, it's like past 12. And have you received all the discovery from the state?
I have, Judge.
All right, the court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Kesey, I'm going to show you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Kesey, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand what you're charged with is injury to a child with intentional bodily injury? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and a right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Judge.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Kesey, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargaining page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 5 years. There's a $1,500 fine. The state is silent on your applications, and there's to be no unsupervised contact with Valentine, Valentin Kesey. Did you understand that to be the plea bargaining agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea bargaining agreement?
It is, Judge.
State, is that the plea bargaining agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
If I could, no contest, but whatever I can do to get my family back.
No. Are you pleading guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
State offer State's Exhibit 1, its attachments and evidence.
I'm
Yeah.
showing you any objections.
No objections to states one, Judge.
All right. Showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Ms. Ferguson, I need a date set for sentencing. All right, we're going to come back on August 15th. I'll base my decision on your application based upon evidence that's presented to me through the PSI report and any other evidence that's presented by both attorneys. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes. And just remain probation. Will give some information to you.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and this is the last case we're going to do, and then we're going to take our break. Court is calling 2022 CR 3007, State of Texas versus Stephen Rhodes. Okay. Yeah, but his attorney needs to be here so I can officially sentence him. Has he been sentenced?
I think I can look, but I think you did.
I think he's been sentenced, that's what the whole thing.
Let me look real fast.
Okay, I don't think I sentenced him.
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
Messenger.
I know.
Is Chappie about that?
No, no copy back, just PSI.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Judge, you're right.
Yeah, his attorney will need to be here. Mr. Rhodes, you're gonna have to come back at 1:30, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. And we'll have your attorney here. Everyone, we're taking our break.
Judge on Spanish.
Mhm.
He's still incompetent, Judge.
All right, so when are we bringing him back? Just do it for 60 days. All right, we'll put it on September 12th. Yes. All right, everyone, the court is taking its recess.